What's good, YouTube? Quasar here. Happy Halloween. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the Halloween deck. Yes, that's Ghostricks. Alright, so this is the updated version. I know last year I gave you guys a profile, but the format has changed completely, so I had to update this deck for you guys. So let me show you my current October 2016 version. So the same would be 3 Jiangshi still. It's your main searcher of the deck. You obviously want to be playing it at 3 still. And then with 1800 defense, it's still somewhat of a decent wall for like monsters that your opponent would normal summon. But usually you'd want to be also getting your field spell on board, so your opponent would be attacking you directly versus attacking into your Jiangshi. And then from there, you get to just search, add, and then continue your combos from there. I decided to not play any of the other level 3s. They're just too slow for the deck. So moving on though, I'm playing 3 different types of the level 2s. So I'm playing 1 copy of Doll. Doll's pretty amazing because when it's flipped face up during the end phase, you get to flip everything face down. That includes your opponent's board. And as you know, with Ghostricks, the main focus of the deck is to flip your opponent's monsters face down, keep them face down, and kind of just like swing through all of their monsters, attack them directly, and just lock them down. Witch, still gotta play a copy of it. It's still helpful. It's like a once per turn Book of Moon. And I decided to main deck the Cat Lady, however you say its name. It's really good because if it's face up and your opponent would summon a level 4 or higher monster, that monster immediately gets flipped to face down defense position. So it kind of locks them out from summoning like big monsters. I'm playing a lot of level 1s in this build because you want to be using the hand traps that you have with the Ghostricks. So 3 copies of Mary. You're probably going to be taking some heavy damage to start. So you want to be seeing Mary right away in order to get your Jiangshi on board and then like start really pulling off your combos. Basically, yeah, when you take damage, discard Mary, special summon any of your Ghostricks from your deck in face down defense position. 3 copies of Lantern. Basically, if your opponent would attack either one of your Ghostricks or attack you directly, you negate the attack and then special summon it in face down defense position. 3 copies of Jack Frost, similar to Lantern, but this one is only if your opponent would be attacking you directly. You get to flip that opponent's monster into face down defense position. Special summon this guy in face down defense position. So that's actually really good. You're getting your opponents to face down defense. And I decided for level 3s, I added the Speedroid engine, so that's 3 copies of Terratop and 2 copies of Taka Tomborg. Everyone pretty much knows the combo by now. You want to be special summoning your Terratop whenever you control no monsters. That allows you to add your Taka Tomborg. And then you can special summon that, and then right there you have an instant rank 3. So that's it for monsters. I'm playing 20 monsters. Of course, you want to be playing 3 copies of Mansion. I know there's still like Parade, Museum. They have multiple field spells, but still Mansion is your best field spell. It allows your opponents to attack through you, through all your monsters. Attacking you directly, you only take half of the damage though, which is really great. And then of course, because you're going to want to see that card, you play 1 copy of Terraforming. Next, we play 3 copies of Swords of Concealing. So basically, when you activate this, it flips all of your opponent's monsters on the field face down. This is really good if your opponent had like just Pendulum summoned their last turn and they have like 5 monsters on board. So this is a continuous, as long as it stays on the field, your opponent's monsters stay face down. But during the second standby phase after activation, you have to send it to the graveyard. But obviously, because of you wanting to set your opponent's monsters face down, you got to be playing 3. I also play 2 copies of Mask Change 2. Now this card allows you just to go into Dark Law. Dark Law is still pretty nuts. It stops your opponents from like searching. It gets to pull a card out of their hand, and basically it banishes everything that would be sent to the graveyard. So it's a walking like dimensional fissure or macrocosmos, if you will. One Book of Moon, I know a lot of people don't play this anymore, but it's still a pretty nuts card. It can stop your opponent's mid combo, and again, you're just wanting to set their monsters face down. And Regeki, of course, just to nuke boards. 2 copies of MST. I decided to play this over Twin Twister just because you want to just maintain a healthy hand. It's difficult to maintain a hand, especially when you're going to be dropping like your Jack Frost, your Lanterns, that kind of stuff. So I felt that discarding would kind of just take away from your combos. So I just decided to play MST instead. And then my last spell, just to make it a 39 card deck, is Upstart Goblin. And then moving on to the traps, I have a pretty small trap lineup, but I am playing 1 copy of Drowning and 1 copy of Quaking Mirror Force. Both of them are insane. If you were to be attacked directly, you get to shuffle all monsters your opponent controls in attack mode back into the deck. And then with Quaking, every monster in attack mode gets switched to face down defense, and then they cannot flip summon. So both of them really strong, really helpful with the main strategy of the deck. And then just to round off the traps, I'm just playing your basic Solemn Brigade, 3 copies of Strike, 1 Warning, again, because these are probably the best counter traps in the game. They have to be played. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. As we play 2 copies of Mask Change 2, I also added 1 copy of Dark Law. It's really good, 2300 beater. That's a walking macrocosmos. And then if your opponent were to add a card from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, you get to take a card back out of their hand. So for the rank 1s, we're playing Slacker Magician. Pretty good for like stall if you're kind of in a tight spot. Utopia Roots is actually pretty good. Just another rank 1 that could be turned into a pretty nice beater. 1 copy of Lionheart. It's not the best Xyz, but it's still really strong, and it is a very difficult monster for your opponents to get over. And then lastly, for the rank 1s, I still play 2 copies of Dullahan. So this is probably the one you want to be going into. It gets pumped up for every Ghostrick that you control. It doesn't just mean monsters, so like your field spell also adds to the attack boost of Dullahan, so that's pretty sweet. And then of course you can detach a material and cut an opponent's monster's attack in half, so you're usually able to get over pretty much anything that they have with Dullahan. For my rank 2s, it's a fairly defensive lineup. I play one copy of Armored Kappa and one copy of Gachi Gachi just to basically stall. Um, you're rarely going to go into them. You usually want to be going into So Cute Boss. I really like So Cute Boss because it provides protection for itself, and then basically, like, get over it if your total attack of all ghost tricks are over the attack of all of your opponent's monsters, which is usually the case because you're going to have everything on their side face down. And then you can detach a material to banish one of their monsters as long as its attack is less than the total sum of all of your ghost tricks. So that's really good. And then lastly, we are going into the rank 3s. We play a copy of Totem Bird. It needs wind monsters, but you are playing, of course, the Speedroid engine. So that's probably the first monster you're going to want to go into with your Speedroids. Detach 2 Xyz materials when your opponent would activate a spell or trap card. Negate it, and then you get to destroy that card. Unfortunately, though, when it's out of Xyz materials, it loses 300 attack. It goes down to 1600, but it's still not bad. It's still worth it just for that negation. One copy of Dante. You're almost never going to go into him. It's 25 defense, so I guess that's not too bad. Mostly, though, it's for, like, because side deck you'd be playing cherries. You use cherries, reveal that against a BA player, and they cry. One copy of Breaksword, probably one of the best rank 3s in the game at the moment. It's basically an Xyz version of Scrap Dragon. 2 copies of Alucard because it's still your, one of your main boss monsters. Getting to detach a material in order to pop a face down is pretty strong. You're usually going to use that effect on back row, but if there are monsters face down as well, you could use that effect. And also, while it's on the field, it's the only ghost trick monster that can be attacked. So if you are able to drop both those effects activate, and then your opponent cannot target either of them for an attack because, of course, it can only be attacked. So you've created a soft lock there. And then lastly, for the Xyz monsters, I play one copy of Angel of Mischief. You basically rank it up over any one of your other ghost tricks. You get to detach a material in order to add any ghost trick card from your deck to your hand. So that's really helpful for getting you like either your mansion or one of your monsters like Jiangshi. It also does have that secondary effect of once per turn you get to add one of your ghost trick cards from your hand onto it as Xyz material. Then if she has 10 Xyz materials, you win the duel. That almost never happens, but good luck trying it if you want to. It's still pretty good. It has 2500 defense. You basically want to drop her because it's still 2000 attack, which is decent, and you get to detach in order to search, so that's always helpful. Anyways, that's my ghost trick deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.